not gonna lie. I was like, 2 minutes, because it does a countdown for you, right? So who am I? I'm girl Linda Price with Fusion Insurance. And so I'm excited to come to you tonight and talk to you about how to grow your insurance business for free. Super excited. And I want to give a shout out to everyone that has reached out to me from YouTube, from the videos that have partnered with us. So excited. Welcome to all our new insurance agents. Welcome to our new customers that have reached out to us from here on YouTube. We're licensed in multiple states, right? So excited. And for those of you that have reached out asking questions, like asking for help, right? So we're going to talk about several things tonight. The main topic is how to grow your insurance business for free. But of course, I'm going to invite you to reach out to me to hear about my business, about partnering with me across the country. Does not matter what state you're in. I am Garlinda Price, broker and owner of Fusion Insurance. I'm a licensed life insurance broker, and we are building and growing a team across the country in all states, right? And we're licensed in multiple states. I write business with Family First Life, and I hear a lot of times people say, oh, it's a Family First Life, you got to buy leads over there. Every business is different, and that's what prompted me to do this video, right? Not saying that leads aren't good. Leads are an excellent way, an excellent source to build and grow your business. It is not the only way, right? And it's not necessarily my preferred way. So every organization is different. So when you see this video, if you were previously with Family First Life and you left because you felt like all it was leads, I want you to give me a call, right? Because that is one avenue and an important aspect of growing your business, because if you don't have leads, how are you going to grow a business, right? But you need to know how to grow a business on your own with leads as a support base to that. That's my personal opinion. Everybody feels differently, right? But the blessing of being here is you're an independent contractor. You can decide what works for you, what doesn't work for you. My mother-in-law says it this way: eat the meat and spit out the bones, right? She said that. I've been with my husband now 33 years. She's been saying that since the day we met, right? So shout out to those of you that are watching. Again, it's Garlinda Price. If you have questions, put them down in the chat. I'll be checking the chat periodically. It won't let me type anything in there. So at the end of the video, I will put in the description box after it processes my Calendly link so you can schedule with me, right? But you can also call me or text me. My phone number is 910-494-7798, 910-494-7798. Again, I'm Garlinda Price, and I write with Family First Life. Again, every business is different. And don't believe everything that you hear online and see online, right? Marvin Gaye said it best: believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, right? Because every story is different. Everybody has a great story and everybody has a horror story of what did or didn't work. But what will work for you might not work for somebody else, and what works for me may not work for somebody else, right? You got to find your vibe, your thing, blah, 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 right? So I won't belabor that point. Tonight we are talking about how to grow your insurance business for free. So one thing that was important to me when I was at my practice company, that I brought the same mindset over here to Family First Life, is growing my business through my warm market. A lot of people will say, well, that can't be duplicated. Well, I don't know if it can or can't. You know, it's a matter of choice. But what can be duplicated is how to grow a referral-based business. So even if you don't have a large sphere, even if you don't have a large warm market, even if you don't have a large network, that doesn't mean that you can't start with 1 to 3 to 5 people that you do know and build and grow a successful business from there. There was a gentleman in my practice company. I'm not sure if he's still with that company or not now, but before he came to that practice company, he was with a company that they could only grow their business through their warm market. So what they did was they grew their business 100% referral based, period. They didn't buy leads. They didn't invest in leads. Their entire business was generated 100% on referrals. So that's how my real estate business is now, right? In case you haven't followed me on YouTube or you don't know who I am, not to say that I'm important. My background is I've owned a real estate firm for the last 13 years before I found myself in insurance. And in that business, after your first year, you pretty much, if you've built it properly with your lead-based system, in 1 to 2 years, you can have a completely referral-based business. Now, after 13 years, I have a referral-based business. I don't have to go look for business. Business comes to me from the relationships I've built, right? You can do that same thing with insurance. You just got to put in the work. You got to put in the grind in the beginning. You do have to grind it out, and I don't want to say hustle, but it's a bit of a hustle in the beginning while you're getting your name out there, and then you can begin to grow on that, right? So the the first thing that you want to do is social media, right? That should be a no-brainer, right? And so some people tell me all the time, oh, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be on Facebook. I don't want to be on social media. But everybody is on social media, right? That's where your client is. Now, it may not be your friend that will do business with you. It may not be your family from social media that may do business with you, but somebody is on social media looking for the product that you have, and that's where you want to start, is with social media posts. So when I started in insurance, I started telling everybody I was not a secret agent. I started telling everybody and their mama on social media that I got my life insurance license, and as a post-closing service in real estate, that we wanted to help them with their insurance needs, right? So that's how we started. We just started telling people, hey, this is what we're offering. This is who we're with. These are some of the carriers that we can write for, and we grew it from there. And I cannot tell you how many people reached out to me from social media and still do now to say, come write me. Right? What does that mean? Come give me an illustration for my parents. Come give me an illustration for me. Come give me an illustration for my kids, my grandkids. So you want to be able to grow your business via social media. That's a no-brainer, right? Now, I don't think you should try to do all platforms starting out. That's my personal opinion. Right? I feel like you pick the platform that is your thing, your vibe, where are your people, right? I love Facebook because that's where I've started, that's where I've grown my business, and that's where I gain a lot of business is from Facebook. I get a lot of business from YouTube, right? So think about just one or two social media platforms that you really want to grow and create your footprint, and then be consistent. Right? So when I started out marketing, I market every day. I share something every single day, business related, probably at least no less than 3 times, but sometimes 5 times, right? And people will say, that's a lot. I feel like I'm gonna be bothering people. Everybody's not gonna see what you post, right? And you're not bothering the person that's looking for you. Right? You can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. So when you post on social media and you're intentional and you do it consistently, the algorithms love that. People will begin to see you. They'll see that you're serious about your business. They will begin to see you as an expert, which you are. They will know you, like you, and trust you, and they'll decide they want to do business with you, right? That's the purpose of social media, is to build and grow a business. So why did I choose Facebook and YouTube? Well, at first I chose Facebook because that's where everybody was, right? So then as the Holy Spirit led me over to YouTube, he said, I want you to start teaching on YouTube. At first he said, come over here and teach jewelry making. I was like, that literally has nothing to do with anything that I'm doing, God. What are we doing here? Right? But I'm obedient, right? Because obedience is greater than sacrifice. He said, I want you to teach something like that, because you can talk about me. You can talk about your business. It's a creative outlet, right? You can find like-minded people, and it will begin to grow your audience. That's exactly how it happened, right? So now I've had insurance clients from YouTube. I've sold homes from YouTube. I've sold products from YouTube. So YouTube is also the #1 most watched, I don't want to say station or channel, but entity, for lack of a better word. YouTube is watched more than all 3 of the largest cable networks in the entire country. So when you think about, we're talking about welcome to the live, we're talking about how to grow your insurance business for free. So when you're thinking about social media, where do you want to market? Why do I say YouTube? Also on YouTube, you're on your content, right? If you market on Facebook, if you market on Instagram, if you market on some of the other social media platforms, which are excellent, you don't own your content. So if they take it down, you get shut down, you don't own it, right? So that's why you want to think about, where do you want to share. The second way you can grow your business, of course, I just talked about it, was YouTube, but create a channel. And within that channel, create different playlists of the things that you want to talk about, right? So if you look on my channel, I have different playlists. I have statement earrings, which is where the Lord told me to teach jewelry design just for fun, right? It's a creative outlet. I have a real estate playlist. I have a ministry playlist of my husband and I for Common Ground Ministry. I have a playlist for Launch It, which is I do 6-figure success coaching for women that are interested and that want it. And then I have the insurance playlist. So you can have multiple playlists for the different things that you do under one YouTube channel, right? So you don't have to just focus on that one thing. You just want to be consistent. So what I do for insurance is I share once a week. I'll do a video on Sunday night. If I don't get to do it on Sunday night, then I aim to do it between Sunday and Tuesday, right? And I pick a topic at the last minute because I want it to be fresh. Whatever I decide I'm going to do, I want to decide like right then. So I decide, do I want to talk to people about products and services, or do I want to talk to fellow insurance brokers about why this is such a great business to get into right now? So when you think about social media and what you want to share, think about what's important to you. What would you want to hear about, right? Because people look at YouTube and social media like television. Most people don't have cable. Most people don't have a home phone. This is how you're going to build and grow your business. You should go live. We call it the live button in real estate, right? You should hit the live button, because if you want people to find you, want people to see you, algorithms love live video. They love when people go live to talk. They go when people go live to share. Most people are like, well, I'm afraid, I'm nervous. Well, that's all well and good. Start out recording yourself first, right? Record yourself on a topic or a subject, and then as you gain confidence in that, then go live. Because guess what? The dog's gonna bark anyway. The kids are gonna scream anyway. My kids are gonna be in the background using the microwave. You're gonna hear them running up and down the stairs. It doesn't matter. The doors are gonna slam, right? So I don't even go about editing videos. People wanna work with someone that's real, that's tangible, that's touchable, that's relatable, right? When people call me from YouTube, they're like, hey, may I speak to Garlinda? It's like talking to an old friend. I'm the same online as I am offline, right? So a great way for you to grow your business is to do lives on Instagram, to do lives on Facebook, to do lives on YouTube, and begin to grow a following of people that want to hear what you're talking about. I'm nosy. I'm a what do you call a lurker, right? I love looking at cooking videos. I love jewelry making videos. I like hair videos. So I may watch stuff and not comment, right? I may look at people's stuff on Facebook and not comment. I'm one of those people, right? And that's how it is. So don't be nervous that if you've ever gone live before, we're talking about how to grow your insurance business for free. Don't worry about if you posted and nobody said anything, if you went live and nobody said anything, if you, whatever it is, right? You created a post and nobody commented or said great job or bought anything. The word of God says in Proverbs 14:23, in all labor there is profit, right? So no matter what you did, it was profitable. You just will see the manifestation of that at some future date, right? So don't worry about that. People are still watching. The other thing that has brought me great success, and I want to give a shout out to my husband, Pastor Marvin Price Jr., aka my lamb chop. I call him Nammy for short. He told me to start doing vendor events, and I was like, I am not doing that, right? Only because he was saying do community events. And the reason why I was kind of balking at community events, I was like, okay, one, they're probably outside and I'm scared of bugs, right? And then the other reason was like, well, what if I set up, and who's really going to be interested in talking about insurance at a vendor event? Naive and idiot of me, right? So idiotic. So the first time I set up was an outside event. It was so hot, I thought I saw the devil run by. It was so hot, right? I was like, okay, I'm never doing this again. I thought I was going to die, right? It had to be 100 degrees outside. So then, and nobody that came to the table was really my client, right? So the second time we set up, it was at a vendor registration event, and it was at social services. So I was like, well, that's probably going to be good, but it had low turnout. So when we got there and it was low turnout, I think that day maybe 10 people showed up. But of the 10 people that showed up, I was able to get probably like maybe 5 or 6 names and numbers. From the 5 or 6 names and numbers that I got, one person bought 3 policies for herself, her baby, and her husband. This was a free event at social services that my husband allowed me to set up at. I was able to network with the other vendors that were there. So I got a house listing that's going to be coming up from one of the other vendors, and I sold 3 policies. Free, right? Free as an insurance setup. I didn't have to pay anything to do that. The third event that we set up at was last Friday, and that was a job fair. So I was like, well, the job fair should be fun to set up at, because then I could go and recruit, insurance agents, or see if people are out there that are interested in selling insurance. So not only did I meet people that were already licensed to sell insurance previously and were looking to get back into it, I'm talking to them. But a young lady that came to the table said, I want to talk to you about insurance for myself, my mom, and my brother. So when I called her on Friday to follow up with her becoming an insurance agent, she said, hey, remember I said we needed a policy? I sold 2 policies. So how to grow your insurance business for free. 3 policies from a community event that was a voter registration drive. I said vendor registration. A voter registration drive. And sold 2 policies from the job fair. right? So these are free ways that you can grow your insurance business. Thanks for joining. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat down below. How to grow your insurance business for free. Sip and shops, right? So I have a girlfriend that owns a spa. And at the spa, she invites different businesses to come out, right? So see who you know, or you be the one to sponsor a sip and shop, right? Shout out to Christine Austin L. She's my upline here with at Family First Life. And one thing that she was talking about doing was her book club. When the book club got together, they were all talking about before the book club started, somebody asked about insurance, and from there it became all these people interested in saying, hey, I need a policy, hey, reach out to me, hey, contact me, hey, call me. So now she has all of these people that want to talk to her about insurance, but she also said that would be a great idea or an opportunity for her to meet with that book club just to talk about insurance. So maybe as a licensed life insurance agent, you have a girlfriend group, or you have a club that you're a part of, or you can connect with groups and clubs, book clubs, sororities, fraternities. I'm in a sorority. I'm a Delta, so Delta Sigma Theta. So I'm on the Economic Development Committee. I don't participate as much as I should. God bless it, right? Thank God for grace. But one of my sorority sisters that is on that committee with me, she's always including me to say, Garlinda, we want you to speak on business. We want you to speak about insurance. She's invited me to speak about real estate. So I have free access to the entire sorority in our area for that chapter, from one person saying, hey, Garlinda is an expert in this. So don't despise your connections or people that you may know that are looking for speakers, right? Even though I'm a Delta, I was invited by Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority to come and speak during their sisterhood weekend on, I forget what the topic was at the time, but I was invited to come and speak there, right? So that is a free opportunity, is to network with the links, right? Kiwanis Club, any type of cheerleading clubs, any type of organization that you can get in where there are people, is an opportunity for you to grow your insurance business for free. So if you're just joining us, welcome. I was sharing that I set up at 3 local community events. One was a voter registration drive, one was a job fair, one was an outdoor event, was a back to school event. But from 3 of those events, I sold 5 policies, and I didn't pay anything to set up at those events. And then we just talked about sip and shop. So at a friend's salon or barbershop, ask them, can you host a sip and shop, right? A night out where other vendors will come. There'll be other women there. If it's a barbershop, there'll be other men there. People will set up with their vendor tables, and you can hand out free information. Now, I see Mary Kay doing this a lot. I think they have a contract with this one particular dress shop, Cato's. But they're always set up outside or at that particular establishment, taking names and numbers, right? Now, we're not at the event to sell policies. We're at the event to get numbers. So we use a registration form that offers giving away a $50 gift card. Nobody even asked me about the Visa gift card. Most people just say, hey, I'm either interested in insurance, I'm not interested, or I'm interested in selling, right? So it's easy breezy. So we talked about salons and barbershops. The whole point around growing your insurance business for free is there are a lot of people that we think are doing well based on appearances. There are a lot of people that we think don't need our business because, hey, they got a job. But your job insurance doesn't go with you if you leave, if you get sick, terminally ill, what do we call it? Critical illness, chronic illness, or terminal illness. That policy may not go with them. 90% of the time, that policy does not go with that person, right? So we don't want to assume that someone doesn't need our services based on us thinking for them. We don't want to think who can and can't afford a policy based on what we think, right? So the lady that I met last week at the job fair, the young lady said she wanted a policy for herself, her mom, and her brother. When I called them, I said, what is your budget? I said, because we can fit most budgets, right? She said $60 for all 3 of us. I was like, whew, we gonna need somebody that walks on water and raise the dead for this one, right? So because I'm a broker, I get to shop around to all these different carriers, right, to see who has the best policy for them and if I can stay within their budget. I was able to find the mom a policy for $45, the daughter a policy for $10, but that only left me $5. I was like, oh, what is we gonna do? Because the brother needed a policy. I was able to find a policy for the sister and the brother that was the same $10.55. So the mom only went over budget by $7. It's out there and it exists, right? But that's the importance of becoming a broker. So let me throw that caveat in there right there. So if you happen to find this video, Kayla, okay. If you happen to find this video and let's say that you're a captive agent and you only have access to one product line, you really want to think about expanding your base, right? That means that if somebody can only buy from you a final expense product, but they're young and they qualify for term and it's cheaper, they can't get it from you. But let's say somebody qualifies for final expense, but not term, but you only have a term product, they can't buy it from you. So then you're left not being able to service the client, right? You're also left not being able to give them the product that they need or want, or it's more expensive than they can afford. It's like leaving business on the table. So I had the blessing of talking to one of my sisters in Christ earlier today, and one thing that I find is that when people come over from an organization where let's say they only have a few products that they work with, it can feel overwhelming when you get access to a whole lot of carriers. But what I encourage you to do, I'm sorry y'all, 1 second. Kayla, I'm sorry baby, I can hear you, okay? So I'm sorry about that. My husband and son are in the other room. And so when you're a broker and you have access to all of these different products and all these different carriers, it can be a little overwhelming. So as a licensed life insurance agent, if you're going to be a broker, this is what I encourage you to do. Find 2 to 3 carriers that you love, right? Because they all are shiny and they all look good, it can be overwhelming. You think, I got to learn every product from every carrier. Nope. Say for, you know what, for term products, I'm gonna have this one carrier. For my whole life products, I'm gonna have this one carrier. And for my final expense guaranteed product, I'm gonna have this one carrier. And that way you have 3 carriers. You can master their products, you can master what they offer, and then you can expand and grow from there. That way you don't feel overwhelmed. At least that's how I did it and it worked for me. Okay, so how to grow your insurance business for free. We talked about sip-in shops, salons, and barbershops. Interview experts. Let's say that you're too nervous to talk, right? And you're like, okay, I want to go live. I want to be seen as an expert. I want people to do business with me. So like, shout out to my friend. I use the word friend, even though I consider her a sister friend, right? Her name is Callie, and she had me on her podcast, right? Well, she has tons of million incredible women on her podcast, right? So by her having people on her podcast, she's the expert. She highlights them. You talk for 15 minutes. She asks you questions, and then you can use that to market yourself. But why can't you interview people? Why can't you find people in the community and say, hey, I really want to have you on here so we can talk about this topic and gear it around both of your businesses and tie it in where it makes sense. And now you're seen as a local expert and an expert in the field of what you're talking about, insurance and whatever that person's business is. Interview experts, and that kind of takes the spotlight off of you. But at some point you want to brand yourself, right? You don't want to just brand the companies that you write with. You don't want to just brand the insurance carriers. You don't want to just brand the products. You want to brand you. And it took me forever. My husband would say, girl, Linda, you're the brand. And I was like, huh? Like, I didn't want the attention on myself, right? And he was like, you need to talk about Garlinda Price. I'm like, that just seems a little egotistical, right? Not to say I don't have an ego, because I'm in sales. Obviously, we all in sales have a bit of an ego, right? And not to say that it doesn't always sound good to hear your name sometimes, right? That's true. But to talk about yourself can be a little tough. And then to brand yourself can be a little bit tough, because it's like, well, how do you do that? You go out and you be an expert. When people think real estate in my local marketplace, I want them to think Garlinda. I want top of mind share, right? So there's a way that we can teach you how to get top of mind share so that when people think insurance, they think of you. Well, how are they going to do that? Because they're going to see you on social media. They're going to see you on YouTube. They're going to see you at local vendor events. They're going to see you going live. They're going to see you at sip-in shops and salons. They're going to see you set up at salons and barbershops. They're going to see you interviewing experts. When people begin to see you, they begin to connect your name with this, right? So it's like when you see a political candidate and you connect their name with that. When you see a minister or a preacher, you connect their name with that organization or that religion. So it's the same thing. You gain top of mind share, the more people see you and the more you're talking about the topic that you're in, the field that you're in. Right? And then lunch and learns. How cool is that? I need some water, look. Not vodka, it's water. Just kidding, I don't drink alcohol like that. And so, lunch and learns. So have a lunch and learn at different places, right? Ask different offices and organizations, can I come in and do a lunch and learn? Buy the little $5 pizzas and go in. I said, I don't drink vodka like that. I don't drink vodka at all, right? Let's clear that up before that goes across the internet, right? But let's offer to do lunch and learns. What about a ministry organization? What about a women's Bible study? What about, it could be anything, right? Where you can set up and do a lunch and learn and just tell people, hey, bring your policy or bring your questions. It doesn't have to necessarily just be about insurance. At my practice company, they only wanted you to focus on term and whole life. But what happens to the person that has all the term life coverage, they have all the whole life coverage, but they have this money sitting over here in this 401k, or they have money sitting over here in an IRA or a CD, it's losing money, right? Or it's not growing any money. Can we talk to them about that, right? Well, over here where we are, you can learn advanced markets. You can specialize in advanced markets. And what's awesome is advanced markets don't get charged back like insurance policies do, right? So I'm just checking the chat to see if there are any questions. So over here, you don't have to focus on just one thing. You can really maximize and help your client grow holistically in every area of their finances, insurance, annuities, index universal life products. They get to decide burial plans, right? Whatever the love and passion is you have, you can grow that into an incredible business. There's riches and niches. So offer to do lunch and learns where you can teach people and you can come in and talk to the staff and talk to the team, business owners, right, that need group insurance or key man insurance. You know, I reached out to a friend that owns adult daycares, I think, or like adult group homes, and he was saying that he had already put something in place for key man coverage for his top employees or his top contractors, right? So that is a business succession plan. So with insurance, we have a license to write money, right? We have a license to pay ourselves. We have a license to protect. We have all these things that we can do that we can maximize. We just don't necessarily know sometimes the structure, how to do it. That's why you got to be with the right organization. Again, cheap, shameless plug. We're recruiting across the country. Would love to talk to you, right? Love text. So that's one way that I grow my business. I call it a love text. So I have this little text that I created that I send on Messenger, and I send them, if I'm going to spend a day doing it, I probably send 10 that day on Facebook Messenger and then 10 on text, because if you send too many on Messenger, Facebook will make it a spam. You can't send any more that day, or at least for the next couple of hours. And what that text says is, hey, gorgeous. I'm normally sending it to somebody I know. If it's not somebody I know, I just say hey in their name, right? Hey, gorgeous. I'm reaching out to all my sisters and friends to make sure that they have the proper insurance coverage. You may or may not know that I'm licensed to sell life insurance, but I wanted to reach out and let you know I'd love to do a free policy review. If you already have insurance in place, I'd love it if you could refer me some business or refer someone to me, because we don't want people dying without coverage. And I just keep it that simple. I say it like that, and I copy and paste it and send it. So when I started doing that last year, I sent it to a friend. No, let's not use her, because there's a better example for that one. I started sending it this year. Just from sending that message, I think I've written 4 or 5 policies, right? So it works. It's not rocket science. So we're talking about how to grow your insurance business for free. A quick love text saying the same thing to everybody. Hey, gorgeous. Hey, friend. Hey, whoever. Hey, Amy. I'm reaching out to all my sisters and friends, blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm doing. Some people are going to say, hey, I'm good, already got it covered. Some people are going to say, I want insurance, but I can't afford it right now, reach back out. Some people are going to say, I'll keep it in mind, right? And other people are going to say, hey, I've been seeing your posts, give me a call. I've written at least 2 or 3 friends from college just from the love text, right? So the other person I was going to mention is actually next on my list. Let me see, they're 4 down. But I'll go ahead and do them. New grandparents, right? So I reached out to my best friend after they had just had their first grandbaby. And I said, hey, if you guys have not already gotten that little baby policy, right, for your grandbaby, I'd be honored to write the policy for your grandbaby. So they said, no, we haven't gotten a policy for her. But look, not to mention it, we need a policy for all of us. It's a bunch of them. She's my best friend. Let me see. By herself, she has 1, 2, 3... 4 sons and a daughter, 5 kids, right? And there's 2 of them, and there's a grandbaby. So I wrote in one day, 7 policies from one text that said, this is when I was at my practice company, but those policies are still on the books. I wrote, all I did was say, hey, I'd be honored to write the policy for your new congratulations on your new grandbaby. I'd be honored to write the policy, the first policy for your sweet little grandbaby. They said, okay, we want one for her, but we need one for all of us too. 7 policies, right? So reach out to new grandparents and to new parents. So when a sorority sister of mine had a baby, I reached out to her. Hey, soror, if you haven't gotten that little baby policy that a lot of people get for their babies yet, I'd be honored to write the policy, your baby's first policy. That is such a non-threatening, easy way to open the door to conversations about insurance, because I'm not reaching out saying, can I write you a policy? I'm not reaching out saying, do you have insurance? I'm saying, I'd be honored to write the policy for your sweet new little baby, for your sweet new little grand, because they're gonna get something in the mail. They're gonna get something from the G company. This GL sounds like OB. They're gonna get something from the GERB, right? They're gonna get something in the mail from these companies, and they're gonna automatically get it because there's familiarity with that brand, right? Remember we talked about top of mind share. So as we're talking about how to grow your insurance business for free, you want to be the first person that they think about. But don't wait for people to come to you. That's passive aggressive, right? And a lot of people do passive marketing. Okay, well, I handed out my cards. Okay, but how are you going to reach out to them? How are they going to connect with you if you didn't get their name and phone number? That's where the brave heart has to come out, right? You got to be willing to say, well, hey, are you on Facebook? Hey, you on social media? Hey, let's connect. What's your name and number? So when you're at different events, it's easy to say, hey, why don't you share your name and number with me, because you have the little sign-up sheets, right? So anyway, reaching out to new parents and new grandparents, congratulations on your new grandbaby. I'd be honored to write their first policy when you guys are ready. Have y'all thought about it, right? Like businesses. So we talked about that a second ago. So what like businesses are in your area that you could partner with to do some co-marketing with, right? So I don't want to say, I shouldn't say like businesses, I should say business to business. So salons, restaurants, spas, pet companies, pet salons and spas, you name it. Anything that you can think of that's another business, how can we co-market business together? You give my cards to your clients, I'm gonna give your cards to my clients, right? That's free marketing. So we're talking about how to grow your insurance business for free. Referrals. So if you weren't here when I started in the beginning, I shared with you that the practice company I came from, just check the chat. I'm checking the chat if you do have questions, okay? So the practice company I came from, a young man that was over there that was new to the practice company, he probably been there before I got there. The company he was with before coming over there, they had to grow their business 100% referral based. They did not have leads, right? So they had to start with their warm market, which freaks most people out. But from their warm market or from a few people that they knew, they grew their business to be 100% referral based, and he was probably averaging on netting $250,000 a year from a referral based business. So referrals in real estate, we say that, I forget, it was Ninja Sales Training, and in Ninja Sales Training, what it taught was that for every one person that you and I know, they know 3 people that would do a real estate transaction this year. So for every one person I know, if I talk to 3 people, that's how many real estate transactions? 3, 6, 9, right? So in real estate, if for every one person I know, they know 3 people that are going to do a real estate transaction, and I get 9 clients from them. When I talk to those 9 people, and they know 3 people, that's 27 clients. That's how I built my business in 13 years to be 100% referral based. In real estate, it works the same way in insurance. How? I'm sitting down with you, I've written a policy. The script's too long and I don't have it in front of me to read, but the script basically goes like this. After you've written their policy, after you've gotten them covered, you ask them how they feel. The average person is going to say, I'm so excited. The lady told me Friday, she said, I have been praying to God. This is a load off of my mind. This is a weight off my shoulders that I'm not going to leave my kids a burden if she were to pass away. So then the next question is, well, you know what? I can only help 3 to 5 people. 3 is probably the maximum amount that I can help. Most people don't even know about this coverage. They don't even have access to someone like me and these products unless they're referred by someone like you. Who do you know in your family? Who do you know from work or church that I could help today, that I could give a call to, that also I could help lift this same burden off of them? right? And they're going to start to tell you who they know. So from each of the people that I told you I met at the community event, 3 of them have given me referrals, right? And from the 3 people that have given me referrals, 1 of them I've written a policy on. The other 2 people I have a return call to. So referrals are an excellent way to grow your business. Now, when you're growing a team in your insurance business, this is what people are going to tell you. Again, if you're new to insurance, it doesn't matter if you're new, don't have your license, or you're experienced. I'm recruiting across the country. I'm Garlinda Price. My number is 910-494-7798. I'm with Family First Life. Love everything about it. Don't believe everything you read is negative. Like Marvin Gaye said, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Call me, I'm gonna tell you the truth, right? Good, bad, and ugly about insurance. Anything you ask me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. So, that lady wrote her policy. She said it took a burden off of her. She now doesn't even have to think about it. So a referral based business is the way that you can grow your business. When you're growing a team at some of these practice companies, they'll tell you that can't be duplicated. Why not? It's all scripts, right? We're all following a script. We're all following the script for the final expense client. We're all following the script for the mortgage protection client. We're all following the script for the life insurance client. We're all following the script. So why can't we follow a referral-based script that we're all saying the same thing and getting the same results? Now, it may take some of us longer because we have to master the comfortability around the script, but you can build a 100% referral-based business in this industry, but you do have to start with a lead from somewhere, whether it's a lead you bought, a lead you created on social media, a warm market lead, a referral from a friend, and you maximize that thing, right? You get what they call resolution, meaning you get an end to and you get a name and a number. So the next thing is family reunions, right? I have a small family, so we don't have family reunions. I mean, our Sunday dinner is a family reunion. I just have a really small family. And so, but I remember being invited one year, this is a long time ago. I sold weight loss products, and the lady had invited me to, we sold weight loss and health and wellness. So a friend of mine invited me to be one of the guest speakers at her family reunion. We sold products at the family reunion, right? Because a lot of times they have a section set up for information for people to get, information and things that they need. Well, shout out to Gabe, right? Gabe, I think Gabe's last name is Brown. I don't want to say that wrong, but Gabe Brown. So when he was, he went over to, he said, an event, and they were having a get together, and he was able to write a policy at the event, talk to people at the event, schedule appointments at the event, because a family reunion is a perfect place for people to have you to talk about, because people only get together when during funerals and family reunions. That's it. And if there's no family reunion, it's normally only at a funeral, a wedding, or a family reunion. So why not set up at the family reunion? The next one is a class reunion. Why not set up at a class reunion? There's nothing worse than when a friend passes away from high school or a friend passes away from college and you see the GoFundMe or the donations or the dinners, right? Because they have to raise money to bury our classmate or your classmate. It doesn't have to be that way, right? I'm just checking the chat right quick to see if we have questions. So don't despise the day of small beginnings. The word says that, right? But don't despise family reunions and class reunions, because why should our classmates die without insurance when we are brokers and have access to guaranteed coverage, where regardless of whether or not they had whatever health issue is, we can cover them, right? And if they're in great health, we can cover them. If they're young, under 82, we can cover them, right? 0 days old to 82 or 83 years old, you can get coverage, right? We'll find something for everyone within their budget. So neighborhood yard sales. I didn't even think about this until the other day. My neighbors were having a yard sale, and they asked if not the other day, last month. And she said, hey, do you want to set up? No, I do not. I hate yard sales. I cannot tell you. I had a yard sale. This is so off topic. I had a yard sale one time at our other house, and the women got to arguing and fighting over something. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, it's too early for this nonsense, right? And I ain't had one since then. But I think that it would be such a great idea that when people are set up at bazaars, church bazaars, and yard sales, for you to be set up with a table, or for you to have a sign in the yard that says your neighborhood insurance agent. I had a friend that had a sign in the yard, and his said your neighborhood real estate agent, right? But I do plan to go door to door in my neighborhood to share my business cards, because why should I have a neighbor die without insurance. Shame on me, right? I live in a small tight knit community. I think it's about 4 or 5 streets in here. My neighbor and they all come out. We moved in last year during October. When I tell you they do it big for Halloween, good gracious alive, you'd have thought it was a whole parade and like this is a little town, right? So wouldn't Halloween time be a good time for me to set up and hand out insurance cards if you have any type of neighborhood events or things coming up? Free. We're talking about how to grow your insurance business for free. So neighborhood events and yard sales, door knock your neighbors. There's no reason why my neighbors should not know that I sell insurance, and I'm not going to stick it in their mailbox. You know that's a federal offense, right? Opening a mailbox and putting something in it is a federal offense. So why not go and meet them and say, hey, I'm Garlinda. I live down the street in a cul-de-sac, and I'm letting everyone out here know that if you know someone that has a need for insurance, I'd love to serve you. I'd be honored to help you as my neighbor, right? Just something so simple and light like that. It doesn't even have to be a big deal, right? It's going to strike up a conversation, and you're going to do business. Let me write myself a note, the law of averages. Okay, we are 40 minutes in, so I got to hurry up. Business to business, we talked about that. Offer gift certificates, right? So yesterday I was asked by my sorority sister. I'm in Delta. I think I said it a second ago, but there's an auction that she's a part of. I think it's tomorrow, and she asked me if I wanted to auction something off. I didn't have this on hand at the time, but I thought about it when she asked me. You could auction off gift certificates that offer people a free policy review. Right, a free insurance policy review, a free insurance appointment, a free family wealth building plan, a free $1 million baby plan. Like, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but if you offered a gift certificate, can't you give that to everybody and make it free? They're gonna feel special, like they won something. You could call it $100 value because your time is valuable, and then that could be the gift that you give out to people for Christmas when you do Christmas cards, birthday presents, or what have you. Wouldn't that be a great idea? A gift certificate for a free review, or a gift certificate for a free wealth building plan? I like the idea. And then goodie bags. Okay, so one thing that we used to do in closing, I have two things. This is the last one to share. We would go office to office with real estate, and in the goodie bag, we would put candy in our business card, right? A lot of the lenders would do bags of chips in their business card. Some people would do fruit in their business card. So you can get the little bags from Dollar Tree and put treat bags. Just put some candy in the bag, your business card, and hand it out. Who don't want free candy, right? Everybody takes free candy. Trust me, when I'm set up at these vendor events, these people steal pens, Lord, left and right. I'm just gonna take a pen. I'm like, the pen don't even write, right? But anyway, so just have something to give away. That's a conversation piece that's inexpensive, right? You can buy a bag of candy at the Dollar Tree now for $1 with at least 30 plus pieces of candy in it. Buy the little baggies. I think it's 10 or 12 bags. That's $1.25. Put your card in there. So for $2 and some change is free marketing, right? So do some goodie bags, hand those things out, and let people get to know who you are. And if your face is on your business card, there is it's either an 85 or 90% chance that it won't get thrown away, because people feel bad throwing people's cards away with their face. That's why when I go to list houses and the realtor that sold in the house or has been sending them the recipe cards, that card is sitting on the side of the refrigerator because people feel bad throwing that away, right? So make sure your face is on your card. Some people do use the digital business cards. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm old school, so I use regular cards. Okay, the law of averages, you got to track your business. Right? So if you're not tracking your business or tracking the number of contacts you're making with people every single day, you're going to think you're failing in this business. You're going to think you're not making headway. You're going to think you're not good at it. You're going to think you suck at it when you have a contact problem, meaning the number of contacts, the number of people you're talking to. So I learned this in real estate. I do it in insurance. So I'm going to give you an example. So I'll do the real estate example and then tie it to insurance. So with real estate, we did this class called BOLD. It was a sales training. And we had to call a certain number of people. And for every person that we call, we did a tick mark, right? So you do the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the slash to make it 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 slash to make it 5. And then we had to write down, and you do this when you're tracking your insurance leads. If not, you should be using an insurance lead tracking sheet. Your company should have one. If not, you need to partner with me here at Family First Life. Garlinda Price, 910, cheap shameless plug, 494-7798. So when you're tracking your dials, you're tracking how many dials you made. You're tracking how many contacts. That's how many people you actually spoke to answer the phone. You're tracking how many appointments you set, how many people booked an appointment, and you're tracking how many appointments you sat. So from the dials, the contacts, the sets, and the sat appointments, then you're tracking how much APV, or annual percentage volume, how much you sold annually in premium for policies, right? It might be annual premium volume. I always get APV wrong. So then you're tracking how much you sold. So when you look at the number of, so when we were doing that in real estate, we were tracking the number of calls. For every 35 people I called, I got a client, right? Now that was a low number starting out, but I was new to the phone, right? So for every 35, I knew that for every 35 people I called, I was gonna get a client. I was gonna get a buyer, or I was gonna get a listing. So I just needed to call 30, it was 30. So I just needed to call 30 people a day to get one client, right? I knew that as I got better, I knew that for every 15 people, I was able to cut that in half the better I got, right? So I knew for every 15 people I contacted, I was gonna get 1 to 2 clients. I knew that if I sent out postcards every week, if I sent out 10 to 15 handwritten postcards a week, I'm gonna get 1 phone call back, right? So stamps are so expensive now, but I mean, it's the cost of doing business. So when you think about doing business, oh, let me write myself a note. When you think about doing business and you think that's old school, it's not. How many people get handwritten notes anymore? Nobody. When I get a handwritten note, I'm like, oh my God, I got a handwritten note, right? It's such an anomaly. It's like a library book. Who's going to the library, right? So think about the law of averages, and the only way you're gonna know your averages is if you're tracking your numbers. So in insurance, when you track how many dials you made, let's say you made 30 dials, you spoke to 5 people, you booked 2 appointments, and you didn't sell anything. That means you didn't sit enough appointments, right? Let's say that you tracked your calls and you dialed 50 people, you booked 5 appointments, you sat 5 appointments, and you sold 1. That tells you that for every 50 people you dial, you're gonna book 5 appointments. You know, normally it's not 100%, but you're gonna book 5 appointments, sit 5 appointments, and sell 1 policy. So that gives you, if you track your daily calls and you track your daily contacts and you track your daily appointments set and sat, and the amount of products you sold, then you can grow your business from there based on the number of contacts. So it's not that you have an issue with, it's not that the business doesn't work, it's not that the leads don't work, it's that you got to multiply your activity, right? So really it's just an activity issue. I used to think in the beginning like, oh my God, you suck at this business, right? Which I didn't suck, so I started out having success, right? But there were weeks when I didn't sell anything and I was like, what is the issue, right? So you'll learn that some weeks in insurance, you owe insurance, and some weeks insurance owes you, right? So it all will work out if you track the numbers, if you keep up with the numbers, and if you grow your business, and if you just need to double your efforts. That's all you need to do. So we are at 48 minutes. I'm a little bit over. So I'm just going to check to see if I have any questions. I want to thank those of you that joined me on tonight as we talked about how to grow your insurance business for free. Reach out to me. Message me here. Just let me know if you put any of these things into place, or if you're thinking about putting them into place, or if you have questions. Please let me know. These are the things that I'm doing to grow a business. I'm growing a business based on my warm market. We're growing a team, like I said, across the country. And I do buy leads. I have bought leads, and I'm working my leads to get to resolution. Resolution means I've called them, I've triple dialed them, I've redialed them, I've sent them text messages, I've sent them a letter in the mail, and then if I was brave enough, I've not door knocked, right? But that's resolution, is get to resolution, to a resolve with that lead, right? So this is a way that you can get free leads, that you can grow your insurance business for free, and you can make money for yourself and your family. If you're finding this video and you're thinking about selling insurance, I want you to reach out to me. I have a code where you can take the class for free. That's if you partner with us and decide to work as a part of my team. There's a link where you can take it for free. It gives you 2 weeks to take the licensing class and to pass the class and take your exam. Or I have a link where you have a little bit more time to take it, but you want to take it as fast and pass as fast as you can. Then I want to talk to, just right quick, so a few more minutes, is those of you that are already working with a practice company and you're not making the money that you want to make. I want you to ask yourself why you got into the business, right? I had to ask myself this. What did I get in the business for? Because this is a really incredible business, servant wise. It's a worthy endeavor. It's a profitable business. Why did you get into the business? And if you're not making the money that you want to make, why not? Right? And if you're not making the money that you want to make, or seeing the number of people that you want to see, or serving the people that you want to serve, why not? Is it time to make a change? Sometimes we can be so loyal. I used to be loyal to a fault. I feel so bad about wanting to leave a company or not to be with that company anymore, and guilty about leaving the association, the relationships that I had, even though it was no longer serving me. And then what I realize is charity starts at home. I gotta serve Marvin Price, Caleb Price, and Miriam Price, and the dog, both. Right? I gotta serve the four of them. And if I serve the four of them and serve myself, then I'm serving other people at the highest regard. And that entails, if I'm gonna be in this profession, making the most money that I can make in this profession so that we can have the lifestyle that we want. Right? That's what insurance is gonna provide you. That's what it provides all of us, the opportunity to have a different lifestyle, right? And I'm not saying that to preach what's prosperity. It's the truth, right? You can get paid daily in insurance. If you decide that today you need $500, you can go sell a policy today and have $500 in your account within the next 24 to 48 hours. This is that type of business. If you need $5,000, you can put in the hustle today and make $5,000 this week. It works like that, or this month, if you work it and if you're consistent at it and if you genuinely give it time to grow. But you also have to have the right vehicle going in the right place, okay? I truly believe that we have that here on our team. I believe we have a culture of commitment, of success, and of help, right? I hear this all the time, and I'm closing on this. As people will tell me they got their license, they partner with this company, they partner with that company, or some tell me they partner with different teams over here, and they get left by the wayside. And I hate that, right? Because don't tell me that you're going to help me and we're going to be in business together, and then I'm looking for you on the wanted board at Walmart. What are we doing here, right? So we don't do that here. If you come here and you partner with us, we're going to guide you to success. We're going to help you. There's training that takes place every single day. Whether you want to master final expense, whether you want to master term or whole life, or you want to master advanced markets, you can do that here. The only thing we can't do is the work for you, but we can give you all the tools and resources to help you be successful. So again, I'm Garlinda Price. Thank you guys for being here with me on tonight. I'm the broker and owner of Fusion Insurance. Again, I'm recruiting across the country, licensed or unlicensed, right? You just got to be willing to work, coachable, and want to grow, right? And want to do something. You don't have to want to grow a team like I'm doing. You can just want to be able to come in here and make some money for yourself and for your family and have a better way of life. It could be $500 you want to make, be $5,000. Either way, we can help you get there. So my number is 910-494-7798. I was just checking the chat one more time. So God bless you guys, and I will see you again soon. Talk to you later.